Hi there, you're watching WION Speed with me, Aisha Sindhu. Let's take a look at the stories we're tracking right now. Over 1 lakh drivers attached to the taxi aggregators began an indefinite strike in India's IT hub Bengaluru on Wednesday. The drivers associated with Ola and Uber are demanding better incentives and stopping the attachment of new cabs, which they say affect their bookings. "53 constituencies in the state of Uttar Pradesh will go into polls today in the fourth phase of assembly elections. A total of 1.84 crore people will be eligible to vote in the election. The main players are the Bharatiya Janata Party, Samajwadi Party Congress Alliance and the Bahujan Samaj Party. Even as India seeks to extradite rupees 9,000 crore loan defaulter Vijay Mallya from the UK, he was on Wednesday seen at an event in the country promoting a new Formula One car launched by his team Sahara Force India. Speaking at the event, Mallya said that India has no grounds to extradite him from Britain and that he wouldn't be leaving. An FIR has been lodged against all students who created a ruckus in Delhi University's North Campus on Wednesday. The protests between two groups of students were triggered a day after an address by Jawaharlal Nehru University students Umar Khalid and Sheila Rashid at Ramjas College. The event was eventually cancelled. All eyes on Mumbai now on the outcome of the fiercely fought Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation elections. Counting for polls to 10 municipal corporations and 25 Zilla Parishads across the state of Maharashtra in India's west begin today. The counting of votes for the elections, which were held on February 21st, will begin at 10 a.m. Foreign Secretary S. JAISHANKAR has countered China's demand for solid evidence against Pakistan-based terrorist Masood Azhar. This as his visit to Beijing for bilateral talks concluded on Wednesday. JAISHANKAR told China that the burden of proof was not on India, as the Jaish-e-Mohammed chief's actions were well documented. India's External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj on Wednesday sought a report from India's embassy to Pakistan regarding an Indian national who reportedly strayed into Pakistani territory way back in 1985. A Bhopal-based newspaper had on Wednesday reported that an Indian national, Nanak Singh, had crossed over while grazing his buffaloes some 32 years ago. India on Wednesday approved a plan to double the capacity of solar power projects to 40,000 megawatts from the current 20,000. The Power Minister Piyush Goyal laid out the plan and said that 34 solar parks with a capacity of 20,000 megawatts had already been approved in the initial phase of that scheme. A top security official has revealed that militants managed to escape from security forces in India's Jammu and Kashmir by taking help from stone pelters in the state. He said that about 25 militants fled from encounter sites since 2016, hiding behind stone pelters and civilian protests. The International Monetary Fund slashed India's growth to 6.6% in the 2016-17 fiscal. In its annual report, the IMF said demonetization would have only a short-term impact on the economy. The organization further added that economy will bounce back to its expected growth of more than 8% in the coming months. The political drama carries on in India's southern state Tamil Nadu as the former Chief Minister O. Paneerselvam decides to go on a long march across the state to protest the appointment of E. Palaniswamy as the new Chief Minister. The planned march is similar to what the AIADMK patriarch MGR had once done decades ago. Meanwhile, the Indian National Lok Dal has called for a proposed protest and march towards the state of Punjab today over the issue of the SATLUJ-YAMUNA link canal. In view of the protest, Punjab has already fortified its borders with Haryana after the INLD threatened to dig the SYL canal on the Punjab side. The Indian Navy ship BETWA, which capsized in December last year, is back in its sailing position and is at even keel. It will be operational by April 2018, as per the Navy. INS BETWA has participated in Operation Cactus in 1988, when India tried to restore the democratically elected government following an attempted coup against the then Maldivian president. In international news, 7 Earth-sized planets have been observed by NASA's Spitzer space telescope around a tiny nearby ultra-cool dwarf star called TRAPPIST-1. The discovery sets a new record for the greatest number of habitable zone planets found around a single star outside of our own solar system. Police on Thursday started arresting protesters who have refused to leave the Dakota Access Pipeline protest camp by Wednesday's deadline. According to law enforcement officials, 9 people were arrested in a confrontation outside the protest camp. Observers question Pakistan's intention behind its latest anti-terrorist drive, which came into force in the wake of a series of suicide attacks in recent days, including at the Sufi shrine of Lal Shahbaz Qalandar, which claimed more than 80 lives. So far, over 130 suspected terrorists have been killed and more than 300 arrested across Pakistan as part of that latest action. 2 members of Donald Trump's team are in Mexico to discuss the issue of his proposal for a wall on the border. However, after meeting with 2 senior U.S. officials, Mexico has said that it will not accept the new unilateral U.S. system. According to a report on global arms trade in the last 5 years, Russia remains New Delhi's #1 weapons supplier. It also mentions that from 2012 to 2016, Russia supplied 68% of India's arms import, while in the same period, the US supplied 14% of arms to India, followed by Israel at 7.2%. China issues a strong warning over the US claims of building a military structure in the contested waters of the South China Sea. The Chinese Foreign Ministry has reiterated that it has indisputable sovereign rights over the islands in the sea. Britain has appointed the first woman to head the London's Metropolitan Police Service, or Scotland Yard's chief, in its 187-year-long history. The 56-year-old Cressida Dick was appointed by Queen Elizabeth II and will now be heading a force of some 43,000 officers. The revamped version of Donald Trump's executive order on the immigration ban has been delayed until next week. The White House pushed back the release of the new order to replace its directive banning the travel of 7 Muslim-majority nations into the U.S. The Vice President of the United States, Mike Pence, has said that President Donald Trump had vowed to fight bigotry in all forms. This as he addressed an anti-Semitism rally while visiting a factory outside of St. Louis. This was where vandals toppled about 170 headstones at the Chesed Shel Emet Society Cemetery in St. Louis over the weekend. A Mexican man has jumped off a bridge and killed himself just minutes after being deported from the United States. According to authorities, 44-year-old Guadalupe Olivas Valencia on Wednesday threw himself to his death. The incident has raised issues concerning Trump's new policies. In sports news, Australia and India take on each other in the first test match of the cricket series at Pune's MCA Stadium later today. The visitors are currently lined up with three left-handed batters in their top three order, and Smith, the captain, may shuffle the pack in order to break the southpaw sequence and make it difficult for India's bowlers to pick them off. Los Angeles and Paris are the only two cities left in the bidding to host the 2024 Olympic Games after the host city Budapest withdrew its own bid. Hungary's government cited a lack of political and national unity behind the application that it blamed on the opposition. The International Olympic Committee will decide which of Paris or LA will receive the Games in September at a conference in the Peruvian capital of Lima. Former F1 Constructors champions Renault have launched their new car for the 2017 season. They hope that this car will take them to the top 5 in the standings. New recruit Nico Hülkenberg and existing driver Jolyon Palmer were on stage for the launch of the RS17 in London. Renault made a comeback to Formula One in 2016 after buying the struggling Lotus team, but finished 9th out of 11. However, with radical new changes that will make F1 cars faster and physically difficult to drive coming into effect this year, Renault is targeting a top 5 finish. The car has been designed entirely by the Renault team and will hit the track for the first time at the pre-season test in Barcelona next week. In entertainment news, Indian actress Deepika Padukone's Hollywood debut XXX Return of Xander Cage has broken all box office records worldwide. The film has earned a total of $308 million globally, surpassing Kung Fu Yoga that minted about $243 million. Story 2, the wedding of Akhil Akineni, who is the son of the popular Telugu star Nagarjuna, with fashion designer Shreya Bhupal, has reportedly been called off. According to reports, the engagement was called off by both, while Nagarjuna and Jiveki Reddy reluctantly gave in. After her success and fame in Bollywood, the actress Vidya Balan is now looking at conquering hearts down south. Reports say that she will make her Tollywood debut opposite none other than the Tamil superstar Rajnikant. Delhi's High Court has denied staying summons issued by a trial court in the defamation case against Jolly LLB2's team. The popular footwear brand Bata had filed a defamation case against the team for using derogatory remarks to Bata as a brand. Rajkummar Rao has done it yet again with the trailer release of his upcoming movie Trapped. The film is a survival drama thriller about a man who gets trapped in his own apartment in one of Mumbai's high-rise buildings with no escape route.